Hey, what's up? My name is Shane and welcome back to another Attack on Titan video. In this video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on chapter 102, so of course if you aren't up to date on the manga this will contain spoilers. So in chapter 101 a lot went down. Eren transformed into the Attack Titan right in front of Falco and Reiner. He killed dozens of people, he fought with the Warhammer Titan, then the Jaws and Cart Titan were freed, and Mikasa and the Scouts showed up. So we may have thought that this was a big epic battle and now it's over, but no, that's not the case. It was just the beginning of a Titan War, and the Warhammer Titan, they are far from dead. So we start off with what looks to be Magath shouting down the phone to the Marley military, saying do not let the founding Titan and the demons of Paradise Island leave, as we know they don't have any intention of letting them live. And as he's doing that, they unfortunately get an explosive thrown right in front of them, and we see the Scouts just annihilating the soldiers. Then we finally see some familiar faces, starting with Jean and Flock. It was great seeing Jean again. He now has long hair as well as facial hair. But we've seen that Flock and Jean have two completely different views on the Marley. Flock throws an explosive at a building and it just goes up in flames, and as soon as that happens, Jean says, do you intend on burning down each of the internment zones? Restrain yourself and minimize the damage dealt to the civilians. But it seems Flock doesn't care. He sees all of Marley as the enemy and says, has Jean forgotten about the extent to which these people on the exterior of the wall have killed those of us who were of humanity within the walls? And he agrees with Eren's actions and he says, look, Eren exemplifies this. He's fighting. We weren't just going to wait for death within these walls. To us, those demons are necessary. I'm siding with Jean in this, as well as what Mikasa says in the next part about how Eren killed civilians and children. She says it's already irredeemable and she's tearing up, and I agree, it is irredeemable. These people didn't deserve this, just like the people within the walls didn't deserve what happened when Bertolt as the Colossal Titan put a hole in Wall Maria and dozens of Titans came and ate hundreds of people. In a way, what Eren and the Scouts are doing to Marley is pretty much the equivalent to that. But as we see, not everyone agrees with Eren's actions, but some of them do. Yes, he wants to destroy the enemy, but he doesn't care how many innocent people die along the way. And as Mikasa is saying this to Eren, the Warhammer Titan starts moving again. In the last chapter we may have thought okay, she killed the Warhammer by obliterating its nape with thunder spears, but as I said at the start of the video, the Warhammer Titan is far from dead. Mikasa and Eren are in shock as it starts getting up again. Mikasa says, this can't be happening, I completely blew out the nape. And Eren says, I also thought that the nape ought to have been sufficiently crushed. This just goes to show that the Warhammer Titan won't go down that easily. And what we've seen in the last chapter was only a glimpse at how powerful this Titan really is. And I must admit this is a really cool shot of the Warhammer looking directly at them. And we see that she makes a freaking crossbow and fires directly at Eren and Mikasa. And Eren says, with its hardening ability, it seems that it can skillfully make anything that it wants to. That's from my understanding. This is a really unique and interesting ability. It can supposedly create anything it wants to and use it as a weapon. Of course, in the last chapter it made a giant hammer, it shot through Eren with a giant spike, it made spikes rise from the ground. This thing is the definition of overpowered. So, Eren's plan is now to attempt to eat the current holder and obtain the Warhammer power. But of course, it's not as simple as that and it doesn't all go smoothly. Then it cuts to the people of Marley and we see the results of what Eren did when he transformed. All the beds have been filled, people are crying and panicking, and it's actually really sad, especially with looking at Udo's body, and Gabby saying, where were Udo and Zofia killed? Two of her friends were killed, and right now she just wants to find Falco. Of course, we haven't seen Falco yet, so we don't even know if he's alive. The military stops her and tells her to go home. If you think about it, the military just want to eliminate the threat and keep the people safe. But as the soldier is saying this, the Scouts appear from above, they're dropping bombs and shooting all the soldiers, and unfortunately for Gabby, this is happening right in front of her. And then we see that one of the people who shot the soldiers right in front of her was Sasha. Sasha kind of looks in shock, probably because a kid just witnessed her murder people. I think Sasha isn't like Flock. I think she doesn't want to kill any Marlians, she just wants to kill the military. And along with the return of Sasha, we also see Connie. And Sasha says, did you forget about turning on the lights? Now, we don't know why they're turning on the lights, but I do have some theories which I'll do in another video. But just a brief theory, if they're placing lights, maybe that means they want people from above to see them. But as I said, I'll get more into that in another video. There is a plan that we don't know of yet that consisted of the Scouts arriving at Marley, Eren transforming, setting up the lights, subduing the Warhammer Titan. After the battle, I'd really like them to go back before all of this and we get to see the plan to invade Marley, which I'm sure a lot of us want to see. It then cuts to Mikasa firing thunder spears at the Warhammer and even pierces its eye. And I'm not actually too sure what the Warhammer formed, but all that matters is that it didn't hit Mikasa. And we find out that the Titan fighting Mikasa isn't even the real Warhammer. The current soldier is currently underground. She's just able to form the Warhammer Titan. Eren notices and he takes action. He jumps off the building, he transforms into the attack titan and goes straight for the holder. Eren snaps the cord between her and the Warhammer and it just collapses, and we see that she has a crystal barrier just like Annie. And from our knowledge, this crystal can't be broken, but that doesn't stop Eren from trying to eat it. In the next page, we see the return of Levi. We see he's still using the ODM gear, whilst everyone else is using anti-personnel vertical maneuvering equipment, which is interesting. Maybe Levi prefers using blades. As for the next part, as I said in a previous video, the Jaws Titan could transform straight away and attack Eren, and that's exactly what happens. As Eren is about to attempt to bite through the crystal, the Jaws Titan sneaks up on Eren and goes straight for his nape, but somehow he can't bite through Eren's nape. But as it attacks him, we see Mikasa and Levi charge straight for him. Then we see a slice to the corner of its mouth, which was possibly Levi's blade. I'm not 100% sure. Levi is right beside him in the next shot, so I think that's why he couldn't bite through. And then Porco goes on to say, "Now there's this guy, don't tell me that's the Ackerman." For a moment, it seems like Porco could die as he's surrounded by scouts using thunder spears, as well as Levi being there, but luckily for him, the cart titan arrived just in time and opened fires on the scouts. And unfortunately for Eren, the holder of the Warhammer makes another Warhammer titan and it just pierces Eren dozens of times and sends him flying into the sky. I'm curious as to just how many times she can form a Warhammer and objects before she gets tired out. And then, to make things even worse for Eren and the scouts, a certain titan appears, that being Zeke, the Beast Titan. Levi turns his head, and we know that he has so much reason to hate Zeke. He killed dozens of scouts and also Erwin Smith. We see a close-up of the Beast Titan and he looks pissed. It's a relief for Marley, but not for the scouts. It then goes back to Gabby. She's carrying a gun and says, "I'm going to kill you, Eren Yeager." Someone now has a personal grudge against Eren. After all, he killed Zufia and Udo, as well as dozens of Marleyans. So I'm interested in seeing more of Gabby and her hatred for Eren. And the chapter ends with the Beast Titan, Jaws, and Cart Titan at one side, and Zeke says, "Don't let them escape, annihilate them." And on the other side, we have the scouts and Levi saying, "Don't die, survive." Chapter 102, It's Too Late, was an amazing chapter, and that ending, we're all impatiently waiting to see how this battle unfolds. There's so many possibilities, and to be honest, it's safe to assume that some people are going to die. I'm sure we're all praying that none of our favourite characters die, but unfortunately, it is a possibility. Keep in mind, we still haven't seen the likes of Armin and Hanji, and we don't know the full plan just yet. But something tells me that the lights the scouts pushed down have something to do with the next part. But of course, I'll get more in depth about what I think will happen next in the theory video I plan to do, so stay tuned for that. This chapter was filled with so much things that we wanted. We've seen familiar faces like Levi, Jean, Connie and the scouts, more action between Eren and the Warhammer, as well as the Jaws and Cart Titan in action, as well as Zeke the Beast Titan appearing at the end. We've seen the results of Eren's rampage on the Marleyans. So many people are dead and now Gabby has so much hatred for Eren and wants to be the one to kill him. I'm actually dreading waiting until April. I really want to know what happens next. Let me know what you guys thought of chapter 102, It's Too Late. Did you like it? Love it? Did you have any problems with it? Let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.